Folks, Sylvester Hayes, the black single father whom Dallas police officers mistakenly detained, is here with a member of his legal team. Now, this story is quite an interesting one. And, you know, we have to deal with this all the time in these stories that we always deal with. And that is, he's suing several Dallas cops for a 2021 arrest for using excessive force after mistaking him for a violent crime suspect with a similar name. He's a single father. Sylvester was on his way to pick up breakfast for his kids when he was pulled over for a suspected traffic violation. He claims that the officers involved and about 8 others, first of all, unnamed officers, kicked him, punched him, tased him, dislocated his arm before realizing they had the wrong person. The video we're about to show you is certainly tough to watch, and so if you want to turn away if you want to. So just check this out, folks.
Come on, step up on me. I'll explain it to you.
I didn't give you permission to do it.
I know. Step out. I'll explain everything.
No, sir. Tell me why.
I'll explain.
No, I didn't give you permission. I didn't give you permission to. Okay.
Right now, you are being detained. Come on, step out, bro. Come on, step out. Come on and step out. You're gonna get tased. Come on and step out.
Come
on and step out, bro. Come on and step out. Come on and step out. Come on and step out.
Bro.
Step out.
What are y'all? Man, hold on, bro.
Come on and step out. Come on and step out. Come on and step out.
What are y'all?
Come on and step out.
Y'all pulling on me for what?
Come on and step out.
Hold on. Y'all, I didn't give y'all permission. I didn't give y'all permission. Bro, hold on. Bro, hold on. I ain't about to do this. Bro, this is my gun. Bro, this is my, bro, my nigga.
Yeah.
My nigga. Bro, y'all got it. Y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. My nigga. Bro. My nigga. Bro, what the fuck? My nigga. Bro.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Stop on my neck. You got your foot on my neck. Bro. I got your foot on my neck, bro. What the fuck are y'all doing, bro?
You gotta get
Stop. Bro, stop. What am I being detained, bro?
Okay?
What am I being detained for, man?
Stop.
What am I being detained for?
If you let us tell you, we'll tell you, shut
Tell
up.
me right now. What am I being detained for, man? Y'all don't even know who y'all fucking with right now, bro. Bro, what are y'all, bro? My nigga. Bro, help!
Total time there's about 11.5 minutes. Now, after all of this, down here the cops trying to figure out, damn, we got to charge his ass with something.
Cooley's food mart or barbecue.
Yeah, the barbecue spot, yeah.
So we were sitting at the church and we were just gonna start doing traffic. She's running plates.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, run that Hyundai. So she runs it and she was like, oh, let's look at the registered owner or whatever. So she does. She goes to AIS and that's the cross-reference and it pops up red. So she's like, okay. She kind of looks at it, but by that time we had already lost them. We had already gone into like the Family Dollar parking lot or whatever, the Family Dollar parking lot. So then, as she's searching, she finds out that the name that she put on there, whatever was on AIS, had continuous family violence, you know, without a warrant. So then, we get behind him up here because we see the car moving on Illinois. So we catch up to it and we get up here to Southern Oaks. And he fails to signal within 100 feet from the stop sign here in Southern Oaks and Overton. And as soon as he came up here, you know, we obviously pulled him over.
So you got the reason for contact?
Yeah. So I pulled up to the car and I'm like, hey man, look, you know, you got pulled over for this, this, and this. And he was like, well, that's not fair because you were watching me from the other side. I was like, yeah, we were on the other side of the light, but you were crossing. So obviously, you know what I mean? Yeah. So then I was just like, you have your ID with you. And so he gives it to me, and obviously I handed it over to her, and she's like, Sylvester Hayes, like that's the name that was under warrant. But
so you got a good warrant?
well, There's, I guess, a lot
He
of
does have tickets.
He does have the tickets. So when I'm like, hey, bro, so in order for us to be able to like fully investigate, like, because he was already acting weird, so I'm like, hey, bro, like,
He was already giving him trouble. Like,
I'm like, can you just step out of the car, please? Like, let's go to the back of the car. And at that point, he was like, for what? For what? And I'm like, bro, come on, man. And so that's whenever Reggie pulled up, and we tried to get him out of the car, and the fight was on.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, bro, come on.
So you got jail traffic, resisting arrest, right?
Yeah, we have failed to signal 100 feet, and then he has tickets. He had a gun in his pocket because he kept going like
that's
this.
why he was acting so crazy.
Okay, because
He had a pistol in his freaking pocket. So, and at that point, whenever we were trying to get him out of the car, Whitman was on the other side. He was like, gun, right pocket, gun. And
Yeah. Okay.
so,
Is he a felon?
he has not been convicted. Or no felon?
No felon.
We have UCW
Okay.
resisting.
Resisting? Okay. Resisting because...
Well, I don't know if we were going to be able to put the resistant because you can't resist detention. You can get him out of the car, but I mean, if the fight is on.
Hold on. So who was on the driver's side?
I was.
So he was listening to your commands at the time, right?
No, he was not. As soon as I had to open the door when I was like, hey, come on, bro, come on, let's step
Because
out.
Whitman started gun.
Well,
That's a safety at this point, right?
He saw the gun while we were trying to get him out of the car.
So you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he was sitting down and we were, like me, Reggie, and I forget who else was next to him, we're trying to pull him out of the car.
Okay.
That's whenever Whitman was trying to push him out. He was like, gun, right pocket, gun, right pocket.
Okay.
And so.
But based on your investigation, you have probable cause to stop him because y'all looked at his name and his picture earlier and could identify him?
We couldn't see it in the car. So
But
that's the thing.
we have the traffic violation.
You got
We have the traffic violation, yeah.
Because the reason for contact.
Oh man, they trying to figure it all out. We've seen this before, but y'all still got it wrong. Sylvester, glad to have you here. Gabe Reed, a senior litigation consultant for the Rule Law Group as well. Thank you so very much. Sylvester, obviously that was not a great experience to have to go through.
Not at all, man. It was crazy. I remember it like yesterday, man.
And to sit here and to watch that tape and hear the cops trying to figure out what, and he was just, he was all upset. Yeah, you upset because you're getting pulled over, and then you're upset you're getting yanked out of the car.
Exactly, man. It's like, I did everything. They pulled me over. They asked for my ID and everything, but I don't think the video kind of showed that. They pulled me over, asked for my ID. I give it to them, and they didn't even, walk back to the squad car and put my, run my name through the police database before they started pulling me out the vehicle. So that's why I'm like, what's going on? Because I know my record clean. I know my name. I know my background is clean and everything. So for me to give them my ID and everything they asked for, and they start, aggressively opening up my door and trying to pull me out, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And all I could think about was my babies. I'm just trying to go get something to eat for my kids,
Absolutely crazy. Gabe, I'm sorry, I thought Gabe was with us. What is, have you heard from the city? What are they saying? Was there an apology from anybody?
No, I still haven't heard from them. They haven't reached out to me or said anything about, the whole situation, even though they have on video that their officer is saying, like, fuck, we have the wrong guy. Excuse my language.
It's all good. The show's called Unfiltered. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, they're like, fuck, we have the wrong guy, And even after that, they don't show any sympathy towards me, or try to make things right, even though after they put their knees and everything else they can think of in my neck, you can't, and no way to make that right, but they didn't show any type of sympathy to, kind of lighten the load on me,
Wow, absolutely crazy there. Lawsuits has already been filed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And y'all are seeking what?
At the moment is, we're just trying to make sure we get justice,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Sylvester, for the last question, do you have any continuing pain or residual pain from this encounter?
Yes, right now I'm still trying to shake back from that situation. I'm just now starting to kind of get back on my feet and get my ducks in a row from that. That was like, 2021? That was almost, 2 years ago. And I'm just now starting to kind of get back on track as far as getting my, with my financial situation and getting my kids, back where they need to be as far as.
You also lost your job, correct?
Yeah, I lost my job.
What kind of job were you doing?
At the moment, I was doing security. I was kind of working towards being one of them. I had 3 years of experience with security. Then I was going to go ahead and enroll into police academy. But after that happened, I changed my whole mind about dealing with that whole deal. I just went ahead and, tried to find something else to do, man.
Are you employed right now?
Yes, right now I'm with another security company at the moment, until I can find what I really want to do, because with that whole situation, and them pending false deals on my name, it was hard for me to find a job anywhere. So after those charges was dropped and stuff like that, I eventually found somewhere to work. But I was out of work for about a year and a half, man, just trying to find a way to provide for me and my kids,
Absolutely. Sylvester, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck, and certainly keep us abreast of this case.
I got you, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you so very much. Lauren, we talk about so many of these stories, and again, everyone always wants to talk about comply, but the natural reaction, when you don't do anything wrong and you're getting snatched out of the car by a cop, you're going to be mad as hell, pissed off.
Well, the natural reaction to, if you were a black male in the United States, would be fear and terror, right? Because we've watched video after video of black men in the United States getting killed by the police. So if you're in that particular cohort, you should be particularly nervous. I mean, we watched George Floyd get choked out on a video that went on for 8-9 minutes. We watched Eric Garner get choked to death for nothing, for absolutely nothing. And it was interesting that the words probable cause came up somewhere in that conversation. I was trying to figure out what exactly the probable cause for the stop was in the first place, because this is yet another episode where the police are just too involved. I mean, I've got a lot of cops, and my dad was in law enforcement as well, and my nephew, and so many other relatives. But what's happened is, of course, as I don't need to say, but I may as well say it, there's this entire apparatus, this entire thing that is policing in the United States. And yes, it is necessary in a lot of cases, but what has happened is that when you're stopping people for no particular reason, that's when you have to sort of sit back and say, we got cops getting a little bit too involved in day-to-day activity, because this is not a call. This is not a law enforcement officer arriving at a call. This is somebody initiating a stop. And I couldn't figure out what the initial reason for that stop was. But, I mean, there's no reason whatsoever why anybody getting stopped who is an African-American male in the United States, particularly in this moment with the advent of the technology that we have, with all the stops that we've had, from Philando Castile to Walter Scott. We watched Walter Scott get shot in the back 7 times in South Carolina on video. So we used to not have that, and now we do have that. So if you're getting stopped now, you should be particularly nervous, as he was when this officer asked him to get out of the car.
It's like Groundhog Day, Reese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and what's so appalling is the multiple levels of, I don't even want to say failure, because it seems like their point is to inflict a trauma on innocent Black people just going to get food for their children or whatever else people are doing that day when they get fucked with by the police. But the fact that these bogus charges went on for over a year despite the fact that you have the body cam footage with people saying, fuck, we got the wrong guy, is beyond appalling. So I think that there are more people beyond just the police that should be held accountable for this injustice against Mr. Sylvester, because it's really appalling. And to people who want to sit up there and say, comply or act like, that there's really anything that you can do to avoid this kind of situation, unfortunately, there isn't. It's just called being Black in America. And the fact that even the officers recognizing that this is not the guy they thought it was, that at most they had a failure to signal, which we heard that with Sandra Bland, they still went forward to inflict more damage, to exponentially bring more harm to an innocent person. And that definitely deserves some compensation, hopefully in the millions, for Mr. Sylvester.
Greg.
Absolutely, Roland. First of all, what the video showed us was the limits of diversity, equity, and inclusion. A white woman, an indeterminate, maybe Latino, maybe some other cop, the guy Guab, who kept saying with that bro talk. And it sounded like a Black man trying to coach them through what they could do to pin on the brother. So these are the limits of diversity, equity, and inclusion. These people were hunting. It reminds me of that scene in American Gods. It was the last day of class today at Howard. I showed a clip of Orlando Jones, your friend Orlando Jones, portraying Mr. Nancy in the American Gods series. Remember? And he's on the ship with the enslaved people, and he says, "Oh, y'all don't know y'all Black yet. Okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to a place where you're going to be slaves, and for about 100 years you're going to be effed. And then for 100 years after that, you're going to be effed. And then he said, well, 100 years after that, even though you've gotten out of slavery, you're going to be effed. And he said, so you might as well go on up them steps right now and kill those effing Dutch right now. Okay, let's go to this. These people were hunting. You heard them say they're running license plates. They sitting up trying to catch somebody. They're hunting. This is what the police do. I have no sympathy for, and I got law enforcement in my family, but guess what? The police are our enemies, structurally. No diversity, equity, inclusion program, including Black cops. Yeah, if you're going to be a good cop, then you're going to have to understand that policing itself was set up to F us from enslavement to now. They were hunting. They were running license plates. And then they catch this guy. Oh, he's in the parking lot. We can't do nothing for him now. So now they go hunt on the other side. They catch him on a little tech. And then they start going, now we're going to go for them. Guess what? And so here's the Black man coaching the white woman and the indeterminate non-white other cop. Well, you got him on the violation. What about the pistol? The pistol fell out. What about resisting arrest? What about failure to signal? That's it. Oh, we got to do something. Well, did you get him out of the car? Okay, traffic violation. Did he resist? Well, he didn't resist. But did he comply? The coming out of your mouth, get out of the car. If you don't get out of the car, is that failure to comply? It ends with this. This is not going to end well in this country. You know why? Because policing itself was set up to be against you. Policing has to be destroyed, and at some point, public safety has to be remade. Because this is what they are trained to do, and I think it's quite frankly a judgment on people's character. When they sit, whatever color agenda they are, waiting, running license plates to see if they can hunt somebody. Would you like it if somebody hunted you?